Hey guys, this is my review on NieR Gestalt. It was localized as NieR. I wanted to see how this was holding up like 10 years after its release. With the new version of Replicant coming, I thought I'd talk about its counterpart. One thing to mention is that Gestalt doesn't have a Japanese dub at all, as in not even a Japanese copy of Gestalt. Anyway, the review is going to be two parts. The first part will have no spoilers and mostly be scripted, whereas the second part will have spoilers with just my bullet points. I'll be using footage from the start of the game. Then, when we enter the light, that's when the spoilers start, including visual spoilers. Part 1. No spoilers. Okay, first we're going to touch on the story. Okay, so Gestalt, the prologue takes place in 2049, and then there was a time skip of 1,312 years. Jesus Christ. And for Replicant, the prologue takes place in 2053. That's it. And then it has another time skip, but with 100 years added on. So 1,412 years. And I don't know why they did the change, by the way. Like, it's not really explained. The disease known as the Black Scroll, it occurred from the Drakengard ending 3, not 3, E ending, and Yona, which is the daughter or sister, daughter in this case for Gestalt, has the Black Scroll, and the dad / brother, he's trying to cure it, essentially. There's other characters as well, like in the game manual / booklet, it shows Kaine and Emil. Emil doesn't have explanation, so I won't go into it. It just has like question marks. It's pretty cool. There's a painting lady named Kaine. She joins NieR. She's just absolute waifu material. I'm just saying that. She just makes me go. Anyway, jokes aside, most important, like, he's so critical to the story, but he's just a flying book. His name's Grimoire Vice. Honestly, he's amazing, and his voice acting was done really well. But all of them. His personality, it just like contrasts with the rest of them. I don't know why. It complements them at the same time. It's really special. Music. The music is one of the reasons to buy the game. That is just 100%. It's one of the reasons. There's Kaine's and Emil's tracks, which are among the best OSTs I've ever listened to. It's got great music for the fights. For example, the one you're listening to now, Snow in Summer. I liked a load of the songs. Well, Yona, Hills of Radiant Wind, that's like while you're out in the field. Song of the Ancients, that's, I think it was 2B's theme. Correct me on that. There's just so much. It's just so much, man. Like, the game in general just has very relaxing music. There is one thing, now that I say that, my cat is going crazy, but there was one bit that pissed me off about it though. City of Commerce, or maybe the background noises, had some slight sort of cat noise in it. So I kept looking around, thinking my cat was going crazy. This is while I was playing. Fishing, it just made me so paranoid because I was just looking everywhere for my cat, but apparently it was just a background noise or something. Regardless, the song is still great. It's just wonderful. It's so peaceful. The 2010 graphics. It was not too good. If you look at the facial, like, just the facial animations and just the model itself, it just looks so unnatural. Like, if you look at Black Ops, FIFA 11, Crysis 2, they look so much better. They should have really worked on the models and textures. Honestly, I think in terms of aesthetics, the appearance of NieR in Gestalt is better than Replicant, because his mask just hides the flaws of the face. I'm not gonna lie, that's the reason. Just the strong appearance of Papa NieR. Papa NieR seems so much more fitting. Like, it's so much better than this long-haired, baby-faced, e-boy looking motherfucker. I suppose I prefer the tale of a father trying to kill his daughter rather than a brother doing so for his sister. Maybe because I don't have a sister, but you know. Oh, I don't have a daughter either. I don't have a daughter either, so yeah. To be honest, I'm going off script quite a bit, but oh well. Gameplay. Personally, the gameplay is fun. However, I can see why it can get repetitive. Like, when I was fighting the harder enemies, I feel like everyone says this, but it felt like Dark Souls, okay? It felt like Dark Souls, but you couldn't really lock on, which was so weird. But then it became really easy after. It was just the early sort of mini bosses. It's third person fighting, so it's generic. I have to say that it's generic, but it's still fun for me. The fishing, I was fishing at the wrong spot for 20 minutes and it was driving me crazy. I think I had to find it on a forum that telling me to go to a different place. Actually no, I found out after I actually did the mission. One really cool mechanic is gardening. I was really surprised because I didn't know it was even in the game. Just getting an lunar, it's just absolute arse though. I'm not gonna get that. I didn't, even though it's like, I think a pink flower you need to get for one of the achievements, but I didn't really bother getting all the flower combinations. I hope it changes in Replicant, like in the new Replicant version 1.2247. Yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, even with this time skip method where you use the system's clock to like speed up the gardening, it just isn't worth it in my opinion. Conclusion. The story is better in this game, in my opinion. I need to add that one. It's just hard to say. Same, like with the music, I'm leaning towards this game, like NieR. At first I thought, oh, they're pretty much the same, but I recognize more of the OSTs in the original rather than Automata. But the gameplay is definitely, it's not with just Gestalt. It's just not gonna work with it. I hope they will improve it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, now it's time for the spoilers. It's time to enter the light. Here we go, boys. Part 2 spoilers. And there's Automata spoilers, just letting you know. This bit won't really be script. Kind of. It will be, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess there's gonna be gameplay spoilers in a sense, because it shows that there are different weapons and you only get access to them in part 2 of the game. Just the spears themselves, they're just so much better in my opinion. Like, you can travel faster with them. You can just like kill a row of them, a row of enemies instantly. And just like the two-handed weapons are just so slow, but the one-handed ones, they're pretty good as well. But I feel like the spears, they're just like the Phoenix. I think it's this Phoenix spear. I just use that. As soon as I got my hands on that, I was just using that. Honestly, it just made everything too easy. That's why if you saw in the footage, I was doing like some sort of challenges, like just doing like just only attacking with the iron pipe or whatever, and not actually, what's it called, using magic. There are some like text passages through the forest of myth. That's it. Wait, let me check my script now. I have some bits scripted out, but I don't know if I'll go along with the rest. There's puzzles. The puzzles, they were pretty good. It's just that just couldn't be asked doing them later on, because you have to do multiple playthroughs and so on to get more endings, and it just became like a drag. Cause like just slowly moving the I guess, I don't know, they're not really boxes, just like blocks of cement, not cement, rock. The side quests, I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of them are just like fetch quests, but at the same time they have that like personality to them. There's a really good one was the lighthouse lady. Like you get a dilemma between whether you wanna just, I guess, say the truth to her or keep the truth away from her, and that's like she's got a love and she's going back and forth with her partner, and they are just sending mail, but it turns out her love has been dead for years, and the postman was just essentially forging mail just to keep her at the lighthouse and keep her working, but also so she doesn't feel so bad. And the whole village was in on it, so it was a huge, like, you have to really decide, and that was definitely one of the best side quests. There was also like there was this dog one where the dog and I think it was our owner, the dog went missing, and the reason why the dog went missing is because it was looking for medicine, like, for his owner, and it ended up dying while trying to go for the medicine. But then when you return, you find out that the owner is also dead, so it's just like, it's tragic. But on the like brighter side, there's like a drunk Popola like singing, like she joins Devila, and it's like really nice how they're singing together. Only thing is that I missed it because I accidentally ended it, so I went on YouTube just to find out how they were singing it, and it was Song of the Ancients. So nice, one of the best songs. There's a fisherman who gives you skills. The skills is it's just increasing the speed. It's not actually different skills or anything. I think there's like 9 parts to it, and eventually he passes away as well. And the reason why he wanted to give it is because he knew he was gonna pass, and he wanted to give his skill to someone else, I believe. I can't remember. I think there was a reason, like he was a veteran or something, or I think he lied about being a veteran. I'm not sure, but there was a lot more backstory to it. Moving on, there's the bosses. They were named after fairy tale characters. I didn't catch on until like halfway through, I guess. There's like Jack, Wendy, Hansel and Gretel, like etc. It doesn't include the main boss, which is the Shadow Lord. Yona gets finessed by him, so yeah. One thing that I found interesting was the king in Facade, I think. Facade was named Sex, and then there was Fira, who was the wife, and I think his what's it called, advisor was Act. It's all German numbers. It's the only thing that actually worked out from my German classes, I guess. Fira's death was really sudden. It was seriously so sudden. But then once you play the second part, it really makes sense. It helped just look at from a different perspective. Like from the wolves' perspective of how and why they did it. And it's all because the village, I guess, soldiers, they were all killing the wolves for no reason. Well, it was so they didn't disturb the wedding ceremony, but they didn't have to do that. Like, if they didn't do it, the wedding ceremony wouldn't have, you know, went through what it did, and Fira wouldn't have gone through what she had to go through. The next bit was like, it's not in particular order, just saying, it's just me rambling off my head with like some sort of bullet points. There's Jacob and Gideon, and Jacob's death, I didn't expect that either. Like, it was same with Fira's death. I didn't think it would just be like some sort of like just a cutscene, and then you see like BP and Khalil. It was just sad that how Khalil thought they were nice kids, and now Gideon wants to kill them both because he blames them, even though it was clearly his fault. But I think it's because people don't like to project the fault onto themselves, and they prefer to, it's just like automatic, you just decide to blame other people. I'm telling you, this bit, the amount of times Kaine beats the crap out of NieR, it's just, I just can't really imagine that on like the brother NieR, like Replicant NieR. They're like, it will be like some dominatrix thing. I don't know. Dominatrix? I think that's Saints Row. What am I talking about? But you know, just about Kaine. The thing that I was mentioning that we'll get to later is that I think she's intersex, or she's an hermaphrodite. So she identifies as female, hence why she has like all this scandalous clothes to like show people that she is female. Her Gestalt self is like her sex is female, like 100%, whereas her replicant self, they went through like some sort of glitch in the process. One thing that was really like heartbreaking was the story between her grandma and her, and then there was the shade that, like, you know, the shade, it was one of the bosses, I believe. I don't even know the name of the boss, that's the thing. It had like some shark head and it was like a lizard. Killed that, done that, gonna kill it in Replicant again. I like how there's like Tyran, I believe that's his name. I like just the fact that she's half like what's it called? Half shade, half human. And I just like his personality. I guess he's more like bloodthirsty. He reminds me of, from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, he reminds me of Kimberly. I don't know if you guys know him, but recommend watching that. I can't remember, another thing I can't remember is that I can't remember if he was her brother or boyfriend in the old world. Old world being when things were normal and before the whole Black Scroll disease wrecking everyone. Okay, now Yona and NieR in the prologue, just, I didn't expect this. I knew that NieR was the antagonist because of a spoiler on a YouTube video, but I didn't know, like, I thought he was actually bad. Like, it's from his point of view, Revenge of the Sith, he was obviously good, and from Gestalt NieR's point of view, he was good, and it was like, it was insane, like, how it turned out and how all the shades were actually humans, and we've been killing them this entire time. Like, we went against Order 66 by not cooperating with like Noah, not Noah, Grimoire Noah. It just really put things into perspective. And I remember when Popola and Devila, they gave like the proof, like the evidence, and when I was reading it, I remember the very last like, I guess collectible
It certainly is a grand affair.
intel, it didn't show up. It kept glitching out, and I was really adamant on trying to find out what it was. So when I went through the next playthrough, I managed to find out. Yoko really knows how to make a good story. That's one thing, that's for sure. Just the first playthrough, you go through it, you're just like, oh, yeah, we're doing the right thing, and then the second playthrough just hits you with, are you really doing it? But it's just that I feel like his games are just like that. Well, two of them now, Automata and Gestalt / RepliCant. It's just that if he keeps doing like this format, it's gonna become really predictable. Albeit it's gonna like still have the effect that he's intending to have, just not as strong, because you kind of know what's gonna happen. Like in the end, oh, you were actually doing the wrong things in a sense, that you were actually against the humans, so on. I really hope that he ends up changing the format sometimes, because I like this format at the same time. Like, I'm a sucker for these sob stories and like sad stories. He never really makes the same game twice, but I don't know about story, so we'll see what happens. Like, there was one thing I didn't expect was Kaine's sacrifice. That was just I don't think that would happen. I knew Emil, the best boy, I knew he was gonna sacrifice himself because of a spoiler again, but at the same time I knew he wasn't gonna be completely dead because of Automata. He's in Automata, and I'm playing Automata again, and I'm making sure that I don't do Emil's quests until after I finish Gestalt, which I have. So now, once I go through my playthrough, I'll be able to fully immerse myself with the side quest, because I found it emotional. Even though I wasn't so connected to the character, I still found it emotional for some reason. But now I can connect even more. Since it's been like a few years, I believe, that I played it, it should be able to hit me. Don't know why I'm trying to do this to myself, but yeah. Emil, back to him. He has a sister, number 6, which is Helloa? I believe it was Helloa. That's how you say her name. She became like, she lost her body as well, just like how Emil, number 7, lost his body. Like, he didn't have his sight. Like, he was ashamed of his eyesight. Then afterwards, he was ashamed of his body. I guess it was. You can relate. Like, I'm sure loads of people can relate to him, just not to the extent he went through. More so about being insecure about how they look, and maybe not liking how they have to wear glasses and so on, or them actually being blind. And I guess even though it's really like the whole story as a whole is unrealistic, but these small little stories you can relate to, like these smaller aspects, and there's just so much to the story. And it's just Popola and Devila, when they did the betrayal, I was spoiled, so I knew that would happen, but at the same time I thought, you know, when NieR got angry that they didn't let well, I think it was Popola mainly, and the village, that they didn't let the gang, Kaine and Emil, sleep inside the village, because usually they have to sleep outside, and it's just, I guess NieR never thought about that. I thought that was kind of the betrayal, because NieR was really angry at them, but then afterwards I realized it was the proper betrayal was at the end of the game, and it was really sad seeing the death of Devila. Like, Popola went into full 9S mode, just the same as when 2B died. So I guess it was just so sad how when Devila, her last words were something like, she knows why they were born as twins is because they don't have souls, since they're androids. And the world is just too lonely for someone to be alone. It's just, there's too much emptiness. I guess this is where you start going through the endings, and then there's like ending A, B, C, and D. And I think B might be my favorite, just because like splitting the cookie and the prologue. I don't know why, just the fact that it linked back to the prologue, and it was just so sweet. Even though I bonded more with, you know, the replicant version of NieR. It still, obviously all of them were sad, and ending D, that gave me a shock. Like, for two reasons. Kind of losing all my data. I was really like, I kind of thought it would come up, but obviously I didn't think it was just for a character. It wasn't for someone online. It was for a character, and I guess I felt like you connected more with the character, so people were probably more inclined to do that, and you needed to lose all your data if you wanted the final ending. The second reason is because, like, my Xbox decided to do this. I think the game froze as I was deleting all my save. Wow. Okay. I am so relieved to find this. Oh my god. I thought I had to start everything over just to see ending D, because I thought just all the data went, because I went through the whole deletion section, and then my Xbox just decides to freeze. I'm just like, why now? Anyway, continuing, coming up to the end. Originally, I thought that ending E was a replicant game exclusive. Then later on, I just found out it was just text you can read online, and that's ending E, and it's fully canon. Obviously, I know there's many different media, like just varied versions of NieR to watch and read and listen to. And it's really cool. At the same time, I wish there was also games of them, or like some sort of animations. I guess that's just a preference. Just that. I'll still be buying Replicant 1.22. I'm not gonna say the full thing. The game holds up, and so do like all the other content. Like I've listened to some of the, I think there was a CD drama. It's in Japanese though, so I had to read the translation along with it. And there was also the concerts, but that's for Automata. You get to see and hear a lot of just some juicy information. So if you've done everything, I recommend venturing more, because you can go on Reddit.
We're done for.
I just hope.
It'll be all right.
I hope there's a lot more. I know there's the reincarnation game coming out. I'll get that.
You know,
100%.
when I was young,
I'll play it. I don't know if I'll review it, so we'll see.
And now that I'm older,
Thank you for listening or watching. I appreciate that you just took the time.
Something like
Let me know in the comments any criticisms, all that jazz.
without all this,
Just give me feedback.
couldn't have become
That's all
your
I ask,
friend.
really. Sensia.
Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.